The Earth has caught a second moon. A beer can that's supposed to be artwork was thrown in the trash accidentally. And a burglar is jailed after breaking into a home and doing household chores for the victim. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News. They're all weird. Weird AF News. It's weird. The stories are weird. The news is weird. It's weird. It's Weird AF News. And here we go with the Weird AF News. Weird news that's weird. The Earth has captured a second moon. It's the sound of science. It's the sound of science. NASA scientists, these nerds, they're always doing nerd stuff like calculating that the Earth has captured a second moon. Yeah, nerd stuff. This is pretty cool, I think. It's a mini moon. They're calling it a mini moon. The Earth has captured a miniature moon, guys. Did you know that? Oh, the cute little mini moon. Now we have two moons, apparently. We're going to need a second cow. This mini moon is in the form of a tiny asteroid called PT5, which usually orbits the sun as part of a small asteroid belt that follows the Earth. While Earth's primary companion, primary buddy, major wingman known as the moon, has lingered around our planet for about 4 billion years since its formation in the solar system's infancy. This asteroid, the little mini moon, will be a temporary fixture that won't even see the year out. It's only hanging out for a little while. I wonder how the original OG moon is dealing with this. OG moon's like, man, I thought I had this neighborhood to myself. I got these mini moons moving in. I like that they say caught, too. They keep saying the Earth is caught and captured a second moon like it was trying to get away. Yeah. Trying to get away. Nah, bro, you're in my orbit now. Running away, are you? Get over here. Do you guys know any of these references? Get over here. Some Mortal Kombat fans. All right, I'm losing my mind. All right, let's dig back into the story now. Talk about how long this second moon's going to be around and if that's going to increase werewolf activity. You want to watch out. You know the werewolves love that full moon, man. Well, now we're going to have 2 full moons. I'm guessing that's twice the werewolves. It's concerning. Okay, now according to the data from Nerdland, also known as NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory Horizons System, this mini moon's only going to be around till November 25th. Just hanging out, not even staying for Thanksgiving. How rude. Now, something to take note of, though the idea of the Earth getting a second mini moon sounds pretty cool, these gravitational capture events are actually quite common. So apparently the Earth's going, get over here, like all the time. Get over here. Now, it's important to note that the fact that asteroid PT5 is only sticking around for just a few weeks as opposed to billions of years isn't the only major difference between this mini moon and the actual moon. Whereas the moon dominates the night sky over Earth for at least half the month, PT5, the mini moon, won't be observable to the average skywatcher. However, professional astronomers may be able to grab us some images of this temporary alignment, and I'm sure they're going to because they have equipments. They love to use their equipments. Now, let's get into the size of the moon as compared to the mini moon. The original moon, the OG moon, is estimated to be 2,159 miles. That's 3,475 kilometers in diameter. PT5, the what I'll call the dollar store version of the moon, the Timu moon, is believed to be just 37 feet wide. That means the moon is a whopping 308,108 times wider than the lunar pretender asteroid PT5. Wow, so much bigger. I didn't know the moon was only 2,000 miles in diameter. I'm like, today I learned that. I thought the moon was a lot bigger than that. That's not even the width of the United States. That's like from California to Missouri or something, I think. I'm not really sure. Public school. I can probably point out Missouri on the map. It's somewhere in the middle, and it looks like a rectangle. Now, listen, if you guys want to see the mini moon and you don't have any nerd friends that work at the NASA, then you can't just take your 30-inch telescope that you got from Walmart and plop it out in your backyard and witness this mini moon event. I'm so sorry to tell you that. In addition, you need the telescope, but you also need a couple of other things. You need a CCD or a CMOS detector, whatever that might be. I think Galileo invented those, actually. A museum's beer can artwork was accidentally thrown into the trash by an employee. It looks like trash. That's why it was thrown in the trash. Right where it belongs with the rest of the modern art. Come on, they're crumpled up beer cans on the ground. I mean, if it walks like a garbage, if it talks like a garbage, it's probably a garbage. We have here a lift technician at a museum in the Netherlands. If you guys don't know what a lift technician is, it's an elevator technician. For some reason across the pond, they call elevators lifts, which is so hilarious. That's like what an infant would call it if you just say like, hey, why don't you name that device? Lift, it lifts. What do you guys call bulldozers? Pushes? The best is the torch. You call a flashlight a torch. Now, I know flashlight's not the greatest word, but without it, we wouldn't have that amazing song. Flashlight, neon light, spotlight. Come on, who's with me? Who's dancing right now? Anybody dancing? Okay, back into the story here. This artwork, was entitled All the Good Times We Spent Together. It's by French artist Alexandre Lavey. And at first glance, it appears to be two discarded and crushed beer tins. They're calling beer tins, beer cans, tins. However, a closer look shows that they are, in fact, meticulously hand-painted with acrylics and required a lot of time and effort to create, according to the museum. Okay, I mean, if they're so special, why didn't you have them behind some glass or roped off? You just leave them in the corner on the ground? It's like, this is artwork now? It looks like trash. This is now artwork. Today I just learned that all of Venice Beach looks like an art gallery, so that's helpful. The artistic value was lost on a elevator mechanic who saw them displayed in a lift and chucked them in the bin. They were displayed in the elevator, so they're in the elevator in the corner? Yeah. Why didn't you communicate this with the elevator mechanic? What's wrong with you? We have a quote here from the spokesperson of the museum who said that artworks are often left in unusual places in this museum. Hence, the display was in a lift. Yeah, but, I mean, then you have nothing there to point out that it's an actual display. If it's just two crushed beer cans on the ground, what do you... How about... don't even get me started about modern art, man. It's just so bad. It's so bad. I've seen some just really pathetic modern art. But this beer can one reminds me of something similar that I saw. It was a pile of 7-Eleven hot dog containers, the cardboard ones that like flip open. They were piled in a corner of the museum, like on the ground, like made to look like trash as well. But they were all 7-Eleven hot dog containers, discarded. No hot dog in them, just the containers, dirty. Some of them were ripped and crushed and just in the corner. There was no rope around that either, from what I remember. So, this is modern art, which is funny that you would even call it art. If a spider monkey could make it, is that art? I don't know. But you'll be happy to hear that the cans, quote, artwork, the beer cans were recovered from a trash bag, both still intact. They were cleaned and then displayed on a traditional plinth at the museum entrance, according to the statement. I'm not sure what a plinth is, but it sounds to me like it's something that would give a clue to anybody that looked at it that it was on a display of some sort, that this is artwork, instead of just chucking them on the floor of an elevator. It just seems a very strange place to put the art. I wonder what these crushed beer cans are worth. Can you guys imagine? Just millions of dollars, like that banana that was nailed to the wall. I mean, what are we doing in the world of art these days? And fashion, too, while we're at it. If you watch some of these fashion runway things, people are wearing, like, they dress up like SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm like, what is this? You wouldn't go out in public in this stuff. This stuff can't even fit through a doorway. The stuff they have on their head sticking out of their shoulders. I mean, if you want to walk around in the world looking like an extra from the first Road Warrior movie, then yeah, I guess this is good attire. All right, back to the article to wrap it up. It says last year, an artwork consisting of a banana duct taped to a wall was eaten by a hungry visitor to the gallery in Seoul, South Korea. Yeah, I think I covered that story. It's very, I mean, this is what's going on in the world of art. I don't know. How do you convince museums to even display some of this crap that's the most impressive part, is that you showed up, you had a meeting with the gallery person, and somehow you convinced them, yeah, I'm going to duct tape this banana to the wall. And this is art? Yes, it's art. I mean, I've been working on this. Well, not really working on it. I just went to Ralph's and bought a banana, but I've been letting it rot for a couple of days because I think that'll bring a nice smell to the piece. You know what I think is going on? I think all of these modern artists have super wealthy parents, because you have to, because there's no way you're paying the bills with that. So they just have their parents bribe the people that work at the galleries and museums to put their child's horrible art that doesn't make any sense on display. A burglar has been jailed after breaking into a home and doing household chores. A UK woman was left very confused and shaken after a stranger broke into her house, rearranged some items in the home, emptied the trash bins, and even cooked a meal for himself, and then cleaned up. We have a Damien Wojnilowskiewicz. Let's try that again. Take two. Damien Wojnilowskiewicz. Nope, not going to be able to do that one today. I tried. 36 years old. This guy, this crafty fella who gives a damn, entered this woman's home in Monmouthshire, Wales, without permission, while she happened to be away at work. Upon the woman's return from her employment, she found several items in her home out of place. She noticed it looked a little tidier, a little cleaner. It seemed like some household chores had been taken care of for her. She discovered her laundry was hung out to dry. The bird feeders were refilled. The floors were cleaned. Even the groceries were put away. The recycling bins were emptied. This is amazing. Oh, this is like if someone stole your car and then brought it back with the oil changed and the whole thing detailed. Okay, this guy left a note too. All right, well, I'm very curious to see what the note read. It read, "Don't worry, be happy. Eat up and scratch." What is that? That's a very cryptic message. I get the "don't worry, be happy." Eat up and scratch? It's very strange. Those are dog activities. Eat up and scratch. That's what dogs do all day long. So I don't know. We'll have to. Hopefully, they'll explain the motivation and what's behind this cryptic message later on in the story. The unnamed woman also found that this guy Damien had consumed some items from her kitchen, including a bottle of wine. Wow. Well, I mean, what's there to complain about? That's a small price to pay to have your whole pad cleaned, right? He even refilled the bird feeders? Who does that? This guy. This is like the perfect man, I think. There's a quote from the woman. They're still not naming. She says, "I wondered if it was somebody who might know me, if it was going to turn into a stalking incident, if he knew I lived alone, and if I had been targeted. I was too scared to stay in me own home and stayed with a friend." This lady's going about it all wrong. Honey, put a ring on it. This guy's just auditioned for the role of your husband here. It's a perfect man, and you're just going to let him go like this? You're going to go stay somewhere else? Well, he could come back. He could come back and make you some pierogies or something. First of all, you didn't even have to ask him. He just did the chores. There's more things. I found another article. Here's some other stuff that he did. The toothbrush heads had also been replaced. This guy replaced the toothbrush heads. The empty bottle of wine was placed in a rack after being drunk, and the floor had been cleaned with a mop and bucket, with the two items still being left out. This guy's just, helping out. This guy's like an improved version of Santa. Santa slides down your chimney, eats the cookies. This guy drinks your wine, but then cleans everything, replaces toothbrush heads. Who does this? Again, the bird feeders, right? There's something about this that tells me this should be a business. You leave a bottle of wine out, and then a random person cleans your house. I think that's pretty good. I think people would want this service. What would we call it, guys? Let's come up with something. How about this sloppy moppers? Because they get drunk and sloppy. All right, maybe that idea should have stayed in the brain. All right, lastly, it says here he pleaded guilty to the burglary, this guy, and was jailed for 22 months. Seems that's almost 2 years. That seems a little excessive. He didn't hurt anybody. He didn't really steal anything. He ate some stuff. From his actions, you can tell he's not a criminal. It's more so that he's got some major brain dysfunction, right? There's prisons for criminals. Brain dysfunction people go get help. There's got to be another place for that. Yeah, and you know how you tell them apart? This, this. When someone breaks into someone's home and changes the toothbrush heads, that's brain dysfunction. This guy's not your typical burglar. He's not robbing people's valuables, like your typical heist. This isn't a heist. Although I would love to see this guy in a heist movie. They're talking about breaking into the bank. All right, and that's when I'll get into the vault. And while I'm doing that, Steve, you know what to do, right? Guard the door? Yeah, about guarding the door, I was wondering if instead I could vacuum the rugs, and maybe I could spray down and clean those glass visors, those windows that protect the tellers from the public. Those are always covered in fingerprints and grime. I thought I could get in there and clean that up a little bit. What do you say? Hi, everybody. This is your host, Jonesy. Just want to thank you for spending a little time with me in the Weird AF News podcast on this special day. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Just know that I do weird news 5 days a week. And on Friday, I do weird news from the state of Florida. So that's pretty much that's the rigmarole around here. That's how we roll around here, as the kids be saying. That's the bee's knees around here. I like old school phrases. Aren't they funny? The bee's knees. Oh, you're the bee's knees. I'm the bee's knees for she's. Okay, what else? Just want to thank you for being alive and listening to me. I appreciate all the support. I got a website, weirdafnews.com. You guys can go there. I got some merch, too. There's a link in the description if you guys want to buy some merch. Or just go to merchmake, merchmake.com/weirdafnews. You can do that. No, it's merch.make, merch.make.com/weird. I think it's something like that. I should probably get it right, but yeah, I'm hungover. Okay.